Hello YouTube, this is Frank, and this is January 13th, 2023, and this is my 63rd video and my 22nd topical video, and today's topic is the Mega Million. The annuity is $1.35 billion, but let's also look at a $5 million annuity like you see at the state lotteries, and also let's look at a life annuity. This is not investment advice. I have no training in investments. I'm just doing this for fun. But let's look at the U.S. Treasury site to get the current yield on Treasury bonds, and then let's look also at the IRS site to look at taxes for the cash and the annuity. And I will be using the formulas that Lever Text. That's a free text site, and we need the present value of a constant growth annuity due. And let's look at the Mega Millions going backwards and forwards. It's easier to see it when we calculate the annuity going backwards to the cash value, but let's also calculate it going forwards. From the cash value to the annuity, because that's the way the lottery calculates it. When we calculate it backwards, all we need is just the compound interest formula. Future value equals the present value times the factor, and we can bring the factor over to the other side, and if we know the future value, divide it by the factor, and that's our present value. And this is the big formula for the present value of a constant growth annuity due. Now in the spread, I make a lot of mistakes, so in the spreadsheet I'm going to put these expressions in separate cells so I can catch my mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. And then I'm going to combine all of this into one factor. So we know the cash value, that's the present value of the annuity, and we need this big formula to calculate that first payment. So all we have to do is just bring the factor over to the other side, and that's our payment. If you already know the present value of a constant growth annuity due formula, I'm using N as 30, R is 0.05, and B is 0.0395. I usually, whenever the Mega Millions or the Powerball gets big, I'll buy a number or two, and there's my ticket. Well, from Tuesday, really. That's not the current ticket. So let's see what we got here. Now I'm using my Raspberry Pi to do my spreadsheet and the web browser. This is from the Mega Million website. Their facts. So they tell you how they calculate the jackpot and the annuity. They're just they use the estimated sales to get the cash value, and then the annuity. See, the annuity is based on the 30-year Treasury rate, and we will look at that to see what the Treasury rates are. Now the options, see, there's the annuity payment option. It's an initial payment followed by 29 annual payments, and each payment is 5% larger than the previous one, and that's the constant growth annuity due. So if we were to get a spreadsheet, And let me blow this up a little bit. Let's see here. So if we start with 0 and just fill our 29 payments with fill cells with a series just from 0 to 29. Now where will be, that's a constant growth, annuity, and it's 5%. Each payment was 5% larger than the previous one. And I'm gonna put this. So where do we start? Well, it's easy just to start with 1 unit, and it said the next payment is 5% larger than the previous one. Plus C8. Oops, 8. All right, there's our constant growth annuity is 5%. So that all we need to do is copy that. And we just need to come down here and sum the C10 through C39. And that will be the sum of a constant growth annuity starting with 1 unit. Let's see, now can I blow that up just a 66? Okay, so let's go up here. Now the lottery winner annuity is 1.35 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So $1.35 billion. So where do we start? What's that first payment? Well, since we're working backwards, and we're using 1 unit, it's just the it will be proportional to that 1 unit. So that is D8 divided by C41. Okay, and that was our first payment, and then the next payment is 5% larger. So that's what D10 times 1 plus C8. All right, there's our, then we can just copy this. Come on. All right, and we just need to sum this to check our work. And if we did this correctly, sum of what? D10 through D39. That should be 1.35 billion. There, yep, we did that correctly. Let's see. So 1.35 billion. Now let's go up here. We also let's look at the federal tax on those payments, and then the net, what the winner gets in net. And it said the lottery buys bonds, and this will be some rate. I'll put that as 0.3 for right now as a placeholder. And we know the lottery winner cash is 707 million and what 900,000 2 3 yeah. And let's look at the federal tax and the net on that. Now the fact said we need to look at the treasuries. So I gave you the Treasury website, and they said they meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if we were to look at our calendar, today's the 13th, so it's probably Thursday or Friday because they meet on that Tuesdays and Thursdays. So let's just look at the value of the bonds on the 5th. Now the 5th, I am going to start off with this right here. 3.96 for the 20-year, because the 20-year bonds, the yield is higher than the 30-year, so they're using the 20-year because that's got a higher yield. So if we were to go back to our spreadsheet and use 0.0396 as our initial guess, now they're going to buy a bond, so this is what the future value is, so that's going to be what, D10 divided by 1 plus 8, and we raise that to the B10 power. B10. Okay, then we got our first payment. Let's copy this. And let's fill out our, now I'm going to, see the lottery, I'm going to gray this out because the lottery buys these bonds. The winner never sees this. So let's just gray it out. And we need to sum of H10 through H39. Okay, that's our, see the lottery gives you the first payment as cash, and it buys bonds with the rest of that jackpot. One bond matures in 1 year, and that's the interest rate that all of these bonds are yield. And so it was just a simple compound interest formula is what we used to calculate the present value to get the, well, we went backwards, future value to the present value, and sum all of the purchases that the lottery makes. And so let's just put this right here, and that is what, H41. And so we're a little bit low, and bonds move in opposite directions. So if we were to make that a 5, see that right there, and now we're much closer to the jackpot. So now we're let me blow that up just a little bit. Yeah, so we're much closer with the 0.395. And this is our calculated value, and that's the estimated value. So we just need to be close. Now let's look at the federal tax. Let's see here now. This was that formula from the LibreText that I used. We look at this is the 1040, line 8. This is where that's where the lottery goes, the lottery winnings. And that says Schedule 1. So if we go to Schedule 1, there's our Schedule 1 gambling. And that's where our W2G goes. There's W2G. And if we just kind of scroll down, from gambling winnings, we're going to go down a little bit further here. There it is. See, lotteries. And you get a W2G for those winnings, and the withholding is 24%. 24%. Now keep that in mind, the 24%. We'll look at that in the tax table. And so with the winner, see, if the winner chooses an annuity, so they get that W-2 each year that the annuity is paid. So let's look at the tax table. This is the tax table. See, there's that 24% right there. And I think that is, they're using 24% because most people are in the income range of $100,000 to $170,000, and most people don't win the big $1 billion lotteries. Now let's look at our tax rate for the $1 billion. It's 37%. And we need to subtract off 37,045. So let's copy that and go to our spreadsheet. That was 37%. And let's copy that, paste that. 37,000. 45. Let me just blow that up just a little bit. 37.45. Same thing with the cash. Let's go over here to the cash. That was 37%, and we need to paste that. All right, so now we can calculate the taxes on this. And that is, what, D10 times E7 minus E8. That will be the taxes, and then our net is going to be what, D10 minus E10, and that will be what the net for that first year, first cash payment, $12 million. And let's just copy this. Okay, the same thing for the for the cash, that is what, J10 times K8, K7 minus K8. Then our net is what, J10 minus K10. All right, so that for after federal taxes, it's $446 million. Now let's just back just a little bit. See the winner, whether they choose the annuity or the cash, they're paying it's just 37%. See the winner either chooses the jackpot or he chooses the annuity. See the lottery doesn't have $750 million in bonds just laying around. The winner chooses. You have to choose the jackpot, the cash, or the annuity. If the winner chooses the annuity, the lottery goes out and buys these bonds that mature annually. So no matter, see, they're not really looking at, the $1.35 billion does not exist. You can't put your hands on it. It's a payment. It's a stream of payments for 30 years. So you really can't say, well, the government is taking over half the lottery in taxes. No, the lottery, we just calculated, the lottery takes, the government just takes 37% of your winnings in tax, whether you choose the annuity or the cash. Now, why do most all of the big winners choose the cash payment? Now, I don't really. I mean, I'm not really the person to ask, but if we look at the IRS capital gains and taxes, see, look, the capital gains is only 15% for your long-term gains. For your first almost $500,000, it's only 15%, and then it's only 20% after when your income exceeds that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is that, see, rich people don't pay taxes like the poor people do. You put that into some kind of long-term capital asset, and let's see, where's my spreadsheet here? There's our 20%. Heck, that's even less than any income on this table. So that's why I think that the big winners choose the cash. Now, that's really not how the lottery calculates the annuity. We need to see how they calculate the annuity. We need that big formula. So if we were to copy that, we still need our payments. Let's see, that's sheet. Bill sales for the series. Now we need that big formula. Now I'm going to do N, W, X, Y, Z, and then factor. N was 30. And this expression is what? 1 divided by 1 plus, let me blow that up a little bit. 1 plus C8. And this one is 1 minus 1 plus C8 divided by 1 plus H8. That's our annuity of the bonds. And raise that to the D3. The next one is 1 plus H8 divided by 1 plus C8 minus 1. Oops, I did something wrong. One plus H8. Did I do it wrong? Well, I guess that's right. Okay. Let's see now. And then 1 plus H8. And our factor is what? E3 times F3 divided by G3 times H3. All right, yeah, that's correct there. Okay, now that we've got our factor for our constant growth annuity due. Now there's the estimated cash value. So we need the cash value is equal to, let's see, that first payment is going to be what? J8 divided by that factor that we just calculated. That's I3. There we go. There's our first payment. And now we can calculate the rest of that the annuity. It's what? D10 times 1 plus C8. And let's just sum check our work. Sum of D10 through D39. $1.35 billion. Almost. Now I'm going to skip the taxes, but right here, that's correct. Let's just copy this. That because we know that first payment, that was what we the lottery. We figured out the first payment, and now let's figure out the bonds, how we purchase the bonds. All right, and let's check our work. Sum of, what's that, H10 through H39. Yeah, there we go. See, 7,900,000, and that's what the that's what the lottery says the jackpot is. So that's going forwards. We had to have that big formula there to calculate that first value, and then when we had that first value of the annuity, then we can calculate it. But that's how the lottery calculates the annuity. Now let's look at, say, one of the smaller state lotteries. This. And we just need the state lotteries. They only may have $5 million, and they'll often have level payments, so we can make those level payments, and we can estimate the cash value of a annuity. A lot of times the state lotteries, they don't have that. But we need to adjust the tax. The tax rate is 24% because that's in between that income bracket. And then it's 6164. 24% at 6164. That's what 0.24 and 6164. Now I am gonna slow this out a little bit. So we estimate that the cash, the present value of that annuity, that's just a level payments there, is what, 3 million. One more. Now, this is where another thing that I don't know. Sometimes the winners for the smaller annuities, sometimes they'll take the annuity rather than the cash value, because you see there's the tax rate there is 37%, and over here it's 24%. So I have not done any analysis on that. We can also look at our annuities. Let's see, copy. Now, I don't oops, I didn't do that right. Let me did I do that right? No, I still didn't do it right. Let me go back to sheet 1. Let me started the topic. That's what I did wrong. Yeah. Okay. Now, actually, I use the constant growth annuity to look at my plan around retirement. It's more. I mean, I know if my life savings is the average, what, 100? So the average life savings is probably, say, around $150,000. And I'm not going to look at the taxes on this. I don't know enough about it. I'm going to take the tax off of here. But we can, let's just say that's going to be what, my life annuity. So if we had $150,000 in our savings when we turn 65, if we put our ages over here, let's see, 65. And fill it with a series. So if we begin our series, our annuity at age 65, with the constant 5% constant growth annuity, it figures it out for us. Let me figure out the balance of that. So I'm doing let's just zero out this right here. My life savings balance, and if the balance is yielding what, the 3.95, if we want to look at the balance, it's J8 minus D10 oops. And the next year it will be what, H10 times 1 plus H8 minus D11. Oops, what did it equals H10 times, I must have hit the wrong button. Yeah, there we go. Our balance is yielding this interest. Let's see, so we can copy. And there. So our balance went to zero right there in year 30. Year 29 had 30 payments. And that's what I mean, that's a useful and practical use for the constant growth annuity. That's what I use for my analysis. If I want to make level payments, just change that 0.5 to 0. I can look and see what instead of 150,000, suppose I saved 250,000 for my life savings, and I can see what my annual payments would be. I can change our end. So if I just want to go to age 84, that would be 20, and it would calculate my payments. And at age 84, that was 20, because we start at 0, so that's that would my balance goes to 0 there, as it's earning interest and as I'm drawing out my payments. And that's what I use to look at my at a practical use of the constant growth constant growth annuity due. So that's my topic for today. So thank you.